likes it. How about some more?
Hell yes. Hell yeah.
How was it? 10 hours straight. He's a machine.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
These be the names of the mighty men whom David the Tachmonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino the Eznite. He lift up his spear against 800 whom he slew at one time. After him was Eleazar the son of Dodo the Ahohite, one of the 3 mighty men with David. When they defied the Philistines that were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away, he arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. And the Lord wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil. And after him was Shammah the son of Agi, the Herahite. And the Philistines were gathered together into a troop, where was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he stood in the midst of the ground, and defended it, and slew the Philistines. And the Lord wrought a great victory. And 3 of the 30 chief went down, and came to David in the harvest time, cave of Adullam. And the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in an hold, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, Oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. And the 3 mighty men brake through the host of the Philistines, and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it, and brought it to David. Nevertheless he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto the Lord. And he said, Be it far from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Is not this the blood of the men that went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore he would not drink.
Alright, this stuff going slow as hell. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get with the lesson. Shalom to the elect. You Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. I want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Bahasham, who led me to this truth, and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness, and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing to be part of that number. Lord willing to be able to find those who fear the name of the Lord and the strive. Judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 42. And I want to get into these articles that the Lord put the Spirit on me to deal with today. And I'll try to make this pretty quick. It says U.S. warns Israel. Then we got Black Lives Matter sent to Israel, which is, I don't know why they would even do that, but it just shows you that, that organization is not for Jake. Basically the point I want to bring out. And then China warns the European Union, which is the part of the EU is part of the beast system. Okay, it's part of that 7 heads and 10 horns. And then we got various end time topics. So Lord willing to edify to the flock. Man, shit slow as hell. Lord willing, set it fine to the flock. We'll go ahead and get right into it. Try to make it quick. Let's get over here. All right, so it says U.S. warns Israel over the next phase of military operation into southern Gaza. So basically, the war, this World War III, is starting to escalate, and they're bringing out a warning to just show that things are not slowing down, especially the whole thing that we're going to get into with this article. So it says the Biden administration is issuing urgent warnings to Israel over the next phase of its military operation in Gaza, saying a campaign in the south of the Strip must not be carried out to the same level of destruction as took place in the north of the territory. So they telling them don't do it. But we know that they've already made a vow to destroy all of Gaza, so they're going to do it. But the America battle on the grace, like, don't do it, because they know that that's going to start World War III, at a higher scale, which they will, because this is the will of the Lord. He wants these nations to destroy each other. These modern day heathens, Egyptians, which is Esau, even so-called white man, and you got the other nations. So it says the administration is proposing that Israel agrees to areas of deconfliction, Salakia, which is to include the UN, the United Nations facilities and shelters that would not be subject. Administration officials said in a call reports Monday night. So they're trying to, kind of keep this from happening. But we know that the Lord's going to keep pushing this destruction coming upon, people who come against Yahawah, and he's going to use the wicked to destroy the wicked. As it says in the precepts, and we'll go, and then we'll get to the point. So we're gonna start with that. It's right here in Psalms. Right here in Psalms chapter 34, verse 21. And it reads, "Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate." See? So the Lord is using, the sword of Esau, Edom to destroy 2/3 of our people and the rest of the wicked. Okay, he's using their own wicked devices against them. So this is why we're seeing that and knowing that they're going to carry out that same destruction on the other side of Gaza as they were on, the northern side, the north side of Gaza that they destroyed. They know they're going to carry out that same type of destruction, and it's going to cause these other nations, to do the same as well, follow suit when it comes down to their war, because we're seeing it happen in Ukraine, and we're seeing it happen over here now in Gaza, and it's going to escalate to other areas, as this next year goes by, because as we were talking about earlier, our year doesn't start until March, and Lord willing, it's the last Passover we got to do, and we can get out of here. All these things can go down. Daniel chapter 7, verse 10. We hope this is the hopeful year for all the prophecies that need to come to pass so that judgment can begin to be executed on the mass scale that Yahawashi really wants to do. And this judgment was already set since the dawn of time. So this is Daniel chapter 7, verse 10. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Who's that? That's talking about Yahawah, the Ancient of Days. He's the one that everything came before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open. So the judgment has already been set. Everybody's going to do what the Lord already ordained for them to do. You got your prophets, you got your false prophets, you got your friends of the prophets, you got your followers, of the prophets and the believers, and the people who are against the whole operation of Yahawashi, which is the heathens. This is all ordained for everybody to do what they're doing right now. We're glad, we're thankful, that Yahawashi has us in the spirit of doing this work, because we know that everything is in an appointed time. Actually, I don't want to go there. Habakkuk. Hold on. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 is where I want to go. I spelled it wrong, Salakia. Chapter 2 verse 3. Right. So Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. So we're seeing that appointed time come closer and closer throughout the days, as we know we seek Yahawashi. But at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. So we know that this destruction is going to come in the time that he wants it to, and not let alone it's going to be escalated instead of de-escalated. And you see America Babylon the Great, they know that. So that's why they like, hey, calm down. Don't bring the war that, don't do all that. But they're going to do it. Hold on. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. We're going to start right here. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Hold on. Chapter 3 verse 1 is where we want to go. And it reads, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. See, this is right now we're in that time where there's a purpose of war. This is the season of judgment, and it's also the season of mercy, and salvation. And, just like I was, just before I got to doing this lesson, I was listening a little bit to of GMS Virgin Island Straight Gate, and he was going over another brother. He did a lesson talking about we weren't appointed to wrath, but we're appointed to salvation. So this is a time of salvation for the elect of Israel, which we hope to be a part of. But it's also a time of destruction to the wicked. This is that time. There was a time where, it wasn't as close to these prophecies coming to pass of great mass judgment. But now we're closer than what people that aren't presenting themselves as the hopeful elect, they don't have no idea that it's this close. So Psalms chapter 97 verse 2, clouds and darkness are round about him. Righteousness and judgment are the habitation of his throne. This is the Lord's attributes. This is how he does things, right? Verse 3, a fire goeth before him and burneth up his enemies around about. We seen in the New Testament, Daniel 7:10, it said a fiery stream came forth unto him. You see? And this fire that's going to burn up these enemies around about, this nuclear destruction. Okay, that's what we're going to see ending up being, ultimately carried across America, Babylon the Great, the land of Israel, and various other places. They're going to be laid desolate. And America, Babylon the Great shall never be inhabited, but Israel will be. And he's going to make those heathens go back and build that land. And he's going to bring all that strength to the earth. Those Edomites over there who say they are, the Israelites when they're not. So Psalms chapter 58 verse 10, and it reads, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. So we're looking for salvation, but we're hoping that, on that side of salvation, we're also hoping for vengeance on the elect. We want the Lord to bring vengeance on those who come against him, so he can show his power. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. That don't mean we literally gonna go step in the blood. Like, it's just saying, like, it's a way of saying that, we're gonna be able to behold the reward of the wicked. That's what it's meaning. Psalms chapter 107 verse 20. He sent his word, and this is what we want. He sent his word to who? To the hopeful elect, because those are the ones who are listening and tuning in and staying with these prophecies and staying occupied, in things pertaining to salvation. And also, the men, we rebuke and reprove. We check ourselves. We better ourselves. We set ourselves in a way where Yahawashi will be pleased with us, so he can do what? And heal them. See, we're being healed right now by Yahawashi through these words, to know how to maneuver out of this destruction and deliver them from their destruction. See, because the first way to be delivered from destruction is the destruction that you bringing out upon yourself. So once you get rid of that and you stop destroying yourself, then the Lord will remove you from the destruction that is coming on those who don't, follow the ways of Yahawashi, because he says to, take care of your temple. And we know we all have, made mistakes and some of us others have things dealing inside of our temple that others aren't. But doesn't mean that the Lord ain't dealing with you. That sometimes he'll put those afflictions on you so you can know this ain't the right way. I got to stop doing this. I got to do this. And the Lord will guide you, and when he get here, he will fix whatever in order that you had messed up before you came into truth, because we all came messed up into this truth. Ain't nobody came in this truth perfect, but we're going to leave this thing perfect, Lord willing. That's how we want to be. We want to be made immortal. But, a lot of people don't think it's coming. It's because the Lord is long-suffering. Romans chapter 9, verse 22. What if the Most High, which his name is Yahawah, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long-suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? That's the heathens and 2/3. Right? And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. We seen in Daniel 7:10, he already set that judgment for this select amount of Israel to have mercy and be prepared unto glory. And that's what we're doing. We're going from glory to glory as we learn more about the Lord and his will and really what he wants us to do while we're on this earth right now, and it's to be servants. Especially, the men of the Lord. You want to serve the Lord. And then, the Akwath, which is the women, they're to serve the man, because that's their lot to serve in serving the Lord. That pleases him when his servants, the men, have helpmeets, and it even said, that Adam, it wasn't good for him to be alone. It wasn't good to not have a woman. Now, of course, in the scriptures talk about, Paul says, it's better not to have a wife, but if you do have one, it's not a sin. So it's just all about your spirit and how you work with the Lord, and how he, whatever lot he sets you in, it'll be one or the other. That's something more personal for you out there listening. And as always, shalom to everybody on the comment board, and tuning in. Yahawashi Barak. So verse 24. Even us whom he have called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles, right? And those Gentiles were the Jews, okay? The ones who were cast out of Israel. We were put over here, and we were in a Gentile state of mind. We were doing things like the heathen. We were celebrating their holidays, celebrating birthdays and stuff, but we never stopped being Israel. We were always Israel. We ain't going to just be a heathen the next time we come back into the earth. We're going to be those Israelites. And those are the Gentiles, the ones that are coming back into this fold, also with the, the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations, because when we get back in the kingdom, they're going to get their color back. They're going to get their statue back, whatever their father was, so if your father was a native, so-called Native American, an Issacharite or something, then that's going to be the color you're going to get when you get back in the kingdom. If you look like a so-called white person, that's what it's, that's basically what I'm getting to. You're going to get back, your rightful place in the kingdom, and Lord willing, we all in there together, So I want to get to this next topic. It says Black Lives Matter organization wants refund for U.S. weapons sent to Israel. So this is showing you that these people ain't for Israel. These people ain't for Jake. They're not for Judah, so-called Negroes, definitely, because that's basically the so-called black people is Judah. They're not for Judah, okay? Because everybody who really is the elect of Judah, what are they doing? And they were the first raised up to start teaching this word. What are the elect of Judah doing? They're teaching you that Israel is not Israel. These people over here saying they Israel, they're not Israel. So why is Black Lives Matter sending their ass weapons and now they want a refund? They want their money back. That don't make no sense, man. And it shows you that's why we don't get into organizations or try to establish some type of customs as we have dealings with the government. Like we ain't got no huge organization where we paying taxes every year and get a tax write-off, And that's what Black Lives Matters is a part, It's a government organization. This is how we know Jake ain't got nothing to do with this. So they asking for their money back. We can go in a little bit, maybe see how much they gave or something. But you get the point. They saying they want their money back because, I guess about 40 grand. They ain't even that much. They ain't even get that much. But still, the fact is that this is showing you that this is the rudiments of men. Okay, this is not the rudiments of Yahawashi. That's why we don't get with this kind of stuff. And a lot of people have said that Jeff Bezos, and there was another guy, I think, I can't remember his name, but they said they the ones running this. But when you see on the outside is 3 Judite women who are the head of this organization. And we know that the woman is not to usurp authority over the man. So we know that that's a wicked organization, okay, controlled by witches. Some of the wicked Eves, that want that power and to be in a position of where they have more say-so than the men. And that's how we know this stuff is the rudiments of man. And we're not to deal with that stuff. That's why we don't, support that kind of stuff, man. So hold on. So Colossians chapter 2, we're going to start at verse 8. Oh, man, I put a U instead of an I. Hold on. All right, there we go. So Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. See, the things that they're doing is vain deceit. And they really, showing their true colors, talking about here's some money for a award, and never mind, I want my $2 back. Like, what the hell? Just, foolishness. After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach, which we know Hamashiach means anointed in Paleo Hebrew. Okay? We don't say Christ. We say Hamashiach. The Savior, Yahawashi. Verse 9, for in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. So he's the one who's the head of all of us. That's how we know that there is no way we could have fell off without Yahawashi, falling off first, But of course, he didn't do that when he was Yahawashi himself. He did that when he was Solomon, And, he was also Isaac and Adam, but we don't want to get too much into that. There's some deep waters, but I do, I have posted in the last couple of days a couple articles dealing with it. I've had some, new brothers asking, new potential brothers asking, trying to understand those breakdowns. But, we ain't going to get into it too much. We're just going to jump over here to verse 20. But that's how we know the whole head was sick. He had to go off first. And it also said that, through Adam, the world. Here, let me see. Let me go pull that up. I'll at least pull that up. And this helps make a lot of sense to show you too that the woman is not in control like the man, because it says that Eve was in the transgression, But he had to be the one he had to be the one to basically do this is like the blueprint of the Lord. We had to go through these things to enter into the kingdom of heaven. So that's why it says, Romans chapter 5, verse 12, wherefore, as by one man, sin entered into the world. See, it didn't even happen by the woman. She was just in a transgression, but he was the main, he was the head. So when he fell, everything else fell. And when you look in Colossians chapter 1, it talks about that Yahawashi is the head of all principalities and kingdoms and dominions in the earth. So we couldn't have fell off if he the head of us if he didn't fall off. That's my point. So by one man, sin entered into the world, and death by sin. And so death passed on upon all men, for that all men have sinned. You see? For until the law, sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed when there is no law. So basically the point is that, he knew what he was doing. The Lord said, you're going to do this stuff. You got to make your people fall away and bring them back. And so it was a prophecy. The Lord, the Father gave the Yahawashi a prophecy. He said, you're going to go in here, you're going to do this. It was already ordained for it to be that way. So that's my point. So let me go back to Colossians chapter 8, verse 20, because it said that, in a way, he didn't really sin. It said it was Eve that was in the transgression. Like, sin entered into the world, but he was doing what the Lord told him to do. He said, you got to do it this way. That's why when he was on the cross and he was talking to the Lord talking to the Father saying, can we, is there any other way we can do this? He said, no, you got to do it this way, man. There was a certain way things had to go about for him to have a people, So we're going to go back to Colossians chapter 8, verse 20. Or let's go to 18. Hold on. Colossians chapter 8. Oh, chapter 2. That's what I want. 2 verse 18. Salakia. We're going to jump back a little bit up where we was at from verse 9. And it reads, let no man beguile you of your reward in voluntary humility and worshiping of angels, introducing those things into which he have not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind, right? We're going to read this in the NLT so you got a little bit of understanding. And not holding the head, right, from which all the body by joints and bands having nourishment ministered. What's that head? That's talking about Yahawashi. That's why it's capitalized, right? And knit together, increasive with the increase of the Most High, right? Wherefore, if we be dead with Hamashiach, with Yahawashi, from the rudiments of the world, why, as though living in the world, ye are subject to ordinances. It says, touch not, taste not, handle not, right? Verse 22, which all are to perish with the same using, or perish with the using, after the commandments and the doctrines of men, right? So we're going to break this down. We're going to point out some things. I'm going to show you in the NLT, so you can get a better understanding of what's really being said. So let me go to the blue letter. We're going to read it a little bit back where we was at, and then we're going to move to the next article. I ain't got too much, so I'll try to make it as quick as possible. So we're going to go back up here. We was at 18. So let's go put that in the NLT. And it reads, don't let anyone condemn you by insisting on pious self-denial or the worship of angels. See? So we're not supposed to, basically don't lose hope. Like, don't turn back. Don't start, like, don't have the faith and then you start doubting, or the worship of angels. We're not supposed to worship, the angels, You're not supposed to worship nobody but Yahawashi and the Father. Saying they have had vision about these things. Their sinful minds have made them proud, and they are not connected to Yahawashi, right? To Mashiach, the head of the body. See? And if the head of the body fell off, then we had to fall off. It was, like I said, it was ordained to happen that way so he could bring us back, so he could save us. He couldn't save us if we didn't fall off. He was the beginning of the fall and the end of our salvation. Just like he says he's the Alpha and the Omega. For he holds the whole body together with his joints and ligaments, and it grows as the Most High nourishes it. And it says, you have died with Yahawashi, and he has set you free from the spiritual powers of this world, right? So why do you keep on following the rules of the world, such as don't handle, don't taste, don't touch? These rules are mere human teachings about things that deteriorate as we use them, right? The rules may seem wise because they require strong devotion, pious self-denial, and severe bodily discipline, but they provide no help in conquering a person's evil desires. See, you have to have the spirit. You have to have fasting and prayer. You have to have faith. Okay? You have to have those kind of things that were given by Yahawashi to really get rid of the rudiments of men. Like, you have to have these things to be born again. But a lot of people, they don't have them. So that's why they still, they still act this way. They still follow the ways of the world. They say they love the Lord and they know the Lord, but they're not connected to the Lord. Why? Because they don't got the spirit. It's all about having that spirit at the end of the day. If you don't got the spirit, then, you through. The Lord has to put the right spirit on you to conduct yourself the right way, coming into this truth, man. And that's why we pray for him to do it for us. And of course, we the one who are doing the movements and whatnot, but he's guiding those movements. He said he shall keep the feet of his saints. It said deny yourself. It said lean not on our own understanding. So now we're going to get over here. China media issues warning to Europe, calls for revolution. See, they want a revolution. And that's what the scriptures is talking about too. They were going to call for this revolution. Okay, and we can type that in and we can pull that up real quick. Go to the definition. So we can, touch in on what's really being said. Because they finna meet pretty soon. The EU and Moab, the so-called Chinese. See? This is what they want to do.
Revolution.
A forcible overthrow of government or social order in favor of a new system. See, that's what they're coming to meet for. They're coming to meet for. Back up, we'll read just a little bit and then we're going to get into it. See? They want a revolution. So it says, Chinese state-run media issued a warning to Europe on Sunday, calling for a revolution ahead of an upcoming summit between the Chinese and the European Union, which is part of the East. Okay, so they're coming together to meet to talk about overthrowing America, Babylon the Great. That's literally what they're coming to talk about. Okay, and now it explains a lot, but I don't want to get into it. We're just going to deal with a couple precepts to show what they're trying to do. Okay, is obtain into the scriptures. And they're not going to be the only ones that come together with this understanding that they want a revolution. Okay? So this is Revelation chapter 17 verse 16. This is prophecy, man. This is prophecy coming out, right in front of our eyes. Seeing this happening and seeing them talk about it. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, that system, and the leader of that system is America, Babylon the Great. Okay, and those 10 horns is the United Nations, NATO, and the EU. EU's part of that system. And then right now we're seeing them, have this mindset in a meeting with the so-called Chinese Moab, and we know they're part of BRICS, and we know that Russia wants to destroy America, Babylon the Great. And then you see over here, China is trying to tell them this, trying to let's have a revolution, right? So these shall hate the whore, because they're going to go talk about why we want to do this. And they're going to be like, yeah, they did this to us, look at all this stuff they done throughout history. And this is why they're going to hate America, Babylon the Great. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's that forcible overthrow that it's talking about. Then we go to, the people who birthed this place is going to hate this place as well. Okay? Great Britain. So I want to just point this out. It says Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 11, because you were glad, because you rejoice, O destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as heifer at grass and bellow as bulls, right? They took over the land of Israel. They made all this money off slavery. Your mother shall be sore confounded. Who's the mother of the place? Great Britain. And she that bare you shall be ashamed, right? Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, in the desert. So they're going to take this place out too, And when you go look up that verse 11, I just want to make a point to show that these heathens, they took the land. Okay? They took the land. See? And it's talking about America, Babylon the Great, Esau, even the so-called white man, And it's talking about Amalek, the first descendants. Those are the ones that are over there. The first descendants of Esau, even the so-called white man, they're the ones over there who did this. Okay? So it says, because you rejoice and are glad, verse 11 in the NLT, you who pillage my inheritance. That's what they did. Iconoclasm changed all the faces to so-called white people. That's what they did. How do we know they were glad? Celebrating holidays, all this stuff, whatnot. Because you frolic like a heifer threshing grain and neigh like stallions, and your mother shall be greatly ashamed. She who gave you birth will be disgraced. And then they go and burn this place up too. You see? So that's why you see the nation of Israel getting all this help from America, Babylon the Great, because they both Edomites. Okay? They're all Edomites. And that's showing you they took our heritage, man. That's not their heritage. We ain't over here rejoicing. We in a state of mourning. That can't be talking about us. That can't be talking about real Israel. There's no way. So I just got a couple more articles, and then we're going to get out of here. So it says, nobody wants U.S. Treasury bonds. Long story short, this is what it looked like. Down, going down. Everything's going down. And that's what it's looking like. That's why nobody wants nothing from here, because it's going down. So we're just going to put in some precepts about it and move on. Ezekiel, what it's going to lead to. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 19. Hold on. Bear with me. Salakia. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 19. And it reads, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Most High. Yahawashi. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. And we're seeing that already playing out now. Nobody don't want to deal with America, Babylon the Great. They bonds, they stocks. They don't want to deal with it, man. They already cashing it out. That's a spiritual way of showing they're cashing it out in the streets. I'm not saying you're gonna necessarily just see, Esau just grabbing gold and throwing it out on the ground, like outside. Like it's saying like they're not gonna want nothing to do with the money here, because they know that this place is about to get laid desolate, and they know. You know how many brothers you see around the world explaining this? Okay, they know. They just think it's, they're going to think it's a joke until the time comes. Then they're going to be terrified. You know, 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare. It said it was their stumbling block and inequity in Ezekiel, right? And into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to realize that it's no use for that bag when it comes to this judgment coming. And you might see some of them be like, oh, and throw they shit out on the street. I ain't saying that you won't. But, some of them just might just leave it in the house and just run outside screaming. Like, we don't know. We can't tell you the details, but we know they ain't going to want the shit. So now, we're going to get to this next article. I got two more. Now, my last two only got a few precepts, but I really wanted to get into this to tie in. They don't want these bonds and whatnot, and also it says American workers are miserable, so they're not even happy. Getting the bag. See, and it's only getting worse. See, so it's getting worse, and we know the scripture said. What does scripture say? We don't got to get too much in that article, but it's there if you want to go look at it. But 2 Timothy, just stick with the scriptures. 3 verse 13. What it say was going to be happening at the end. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. You still got 2/3 of Jakes trying to chase the bag. You still got 2/3 of Jakes trying to tell you, get 2-3 jobs, get your money up, get your business. You even got some camps still saying that. Other camps. That's not part of GMS. They out there talking about some, grow your business and whatnot. Man, there ain't none of that stuff gonna matter, man. They're not saying that making a business is like a sin, but we're in a different time right now. Okay, we need to be focused on salvation and worried about, occupying ourselves with prophecy and just being content with what we got. We ain't trying to make it here. Matthew chapter 24 verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what you about to see. You about to see a lot of people be wicked. You about to see a lot more wickedness in the earth as we go into this next year, man. Especially around the Shabbat, especially around the new, not the Shabbat, but the Passover. You're gonna see a lot of we're gonna see a lot of judgment. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 1. Lord willing, we do. Lord willing, we there. We don't know if we're gonna be here tomorrow. Lord willing, but if you are gonna be there, Lord willing, that's what you're gonna see. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, talking about the prophecies, behold, the day shall come that they would dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, that famine of the word, and the land shall be barren of faith. That's why people are going to wax cold and colder, because there's not going to be no truth in the world. Everything's getting worse, and we're seeing it gradually happen over time. James chapter 5 verse 1, and it reads, go to now, ye rich men, reap and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. And they already having those miseries. They seeing their stocks and their bonds. They've been saving up their whole life here in America, Babylon the Great. It's going down the drain. That's why I don't nobody want it. Your riches are corrupted. Your garments are moth-eaten. That's why the Lord's taking that power from them. He's stripping it from them. And we seeing it. Verse 3, your gold and silver is cankered. That's why they're going to throw it out on the street. They're going to discard it. They're not going to think of it as worth. Right? And the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it with fire. What did it say that the nations is going to do? They're going to burn this place with fire. Right? Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days, man. You're going to be set on fire, man. The Lord's going to turn all the elements over here back into chaff, man. Burnt firewood. Now, this is something spiritual, kind of I seen. It's kind of pretty spiritual to me, because the Lord said he was going to destroy the idols of Egypt. And today, we're basically in, the revived Roman Empire physically, and then spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Okay, so this is like that spirit over here. That spirit of that slavery is over here. You see what I'm saying? But it said National Christmas tree topples in gusty DC winds. And the Lord said, what did he say? He gonna take this place by the wind, by the nukes. And look, they got their little big old Christmas tree they normally set up. It's on the ground over there. That's spiritual, especially around this time coming into 2024. This is some spiritual happening right here. He blew this thing over. Hey, I ain't never seen no articles talking about no that big old tree blowing over. That's the Lord showing, these idols are finna get erased off the planet, man. Ezekiel, I want to show some Ezekiel. I want to prove the point. Ezekiel chapter 30, verse 13. And it reads, thus saith the Lord, Yahawashi, I will also destroy the idols. I will cause their images to cease out of nope. Since that's how you say that's lucky if I said that. And there shall be no more a prince of the land of Egypt, and I will put fear in the land of Egypt. See? And that's how it was last time we was in Egypt. He was destroying their idols. He destroyed their idols before he took them out. He was taking it, he was messing up their statues, turning the water into blood, doing all that, And just like we know, just a couple weeks ago, the Nile River turned into blood. And a couple of rivers in Russia. So we know that something's coming. We know something's up, And this is what he's doing. He's destroying these idols right before our eyes, just like he did last time. He's destroying them. So this is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. And I can read a couple precepts right here, and I got one more article with a precept, and then we out of here. Try not to take too long for you. So Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1, the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, right? And what's that swift cloud? A chariot, so-called UFOs. He's going to come on one of those. Shall come into Egypt. Today, America, Babylon the Great, and the four corners of the earth, they all going to see the Lord. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved out of his presence with what? The nukes. Okay, the intercontinental ballistic missiles. And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. See, you get it from that fire. That fire, man. Verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. That's Esau versus Esau. Right? And we seeing that on a major scale and a lower scale. We seeing it with Russia and America, Babylon the Great. Both of those are the Edomites. And they're setting them. Then you got people in America, Babylon the Great, the Republicans versus the Democrats. Then you got down the 6-pack Edomite Joe against the, 18-pack Edomite Joe. I don't know. It's just, it's going to be insurrection throughout everywhere. Okay? To the smallest to the greatest. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor. See, it goes down to that level. City against city and kingdom against kingdom. Right? Verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. See, that's what he's doing right now. He's destroying their counsel and their money system. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. See, they looking for that holly jolly ass Christmas, and Lord blew that shit over and said, fuck all that. I'm finna tear y'all ass up. That's what's happening. So I got one more because this was real, vexing to my spirit. But you see this married couple right here. That's that guy, man. Look what he did. He literally changed his whole look, And basically the whole thing says, when I came out as a fruit roll-up, my wife admitted she wasn't attracted anymore. And they said our marriage. She basically said their marriage is over, but they still love each other or whatever. But come on, man. We know that because I was listening to Elder Apostle Ramlov yesterday, and he was going over King James, and there are some people trying to say that King James was he was one of them fruit roll-ups. But no, he wasn't. Why would the Lord have him do all this and put all that stuff in the scriptures? That this stuff is going off, and then he go put it in there. He would have took it out. You see? So we're going to put in some precepts about this. We're going to put in one precept, and then we out of here. I didn't even want to watch the video. I don't really, want to talk about them. It's more to deal with. This is why we don't condone this stuff. This is why we don't get down with this shit. Okay? Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5, because we know the Lord don't. 22 verse 5. And it reads, a woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do are an abomination to the Lord thy power, Yahawashi. That's an abomination to the Lord, man. That's going off. You know what I mean? This motherfucker got fake titties and everything. The fuck you doing, bro? This is going the fuck off. Okay, this is disgusting. Okay, this is why the Lord is going to utterly burn this place with fire. Okay, and you still over here smiling with a happy face on your shirt. Your ass need to get the hell on somewhere and, you know, go be with somebody else, you know, because obviously she's not following the laws, statutes, commandments anyways. You know, they both look like, you know, not some jakes, but who knows? They might be some jakes, but either way, you know, they're going to get the judgment of the heathen. You know, they're looked at as heathens if they not, you know. So, and then, you know, he already got long hair back there. You know, it was going to come eventually. And that's why you got to, looks are deceiving, man. That's why we don't like all that makeup and shit. You see what I'm saying? This motherfucker look completely different. Like, you got to watch these motherfuckers out here, man. Don't trust what you see. You know, test the spirits. Because you think somebody's damn woman looks like that guy on the left, okay? So don't trust shit here, okay? You hopeful elect is your people, deal with them. Don't mess with nobody else. So Lord willing, is edifying to the flock, shalom to the elect of Israel. To the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. Want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Led me to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord, when we part of that number, Lord, will be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. Why abab the water for tuning in. Try to make it quick for you. Yahawah, Atham. All you sincere believers out there, you know, and Lord willing, we'll be at the exalted name of Yahawah yet another day. May the peace and blessings be to the elect and upon your households. Know you hopeful elect out there, and Lord will know is edifying to you. Shalom.